YouTube, what's going down? So this is more college freshman tips because it sounded like you guys wanted some more. Most of you guys now have had time to kind of transition into this freshman living situation. I always think it's so weird how transitioning through grades was like the biggest threat from teachers as you got older through school. Teachers always made it sound like you're gonna go from like 4th grade to NASA the next year. All right, 4th graders, ears on me, ears on me. If you think that these timetables are hard, just wait till 5th grade because then you're gonna be doing quantum mechanics and teaching a baby horse how to speak fluent Latin. So you all better get your act together. Also, you only have 2 recesses instead of 3. So there's that. And the point that I'm making is that you're always scared to transition into this new part of your life, but when you get there, it's never as hard as they make it out to be. Now, college definitely is the hardest transition, but I'm certain you guys are gonna be able to make it through. So at this point, you've probably been in the dorms for a while. Nothing's gonna throw you into the freshman fire harder than living with somebody that only watches My Little Pony exclusively on Netflix, and after wearing his socks for 2 days, just turns them inside out and wears them again and thinks that's okay. Because it's actually great to live with people that you're not familiar with. But what if you're the person that's living with the My Little Pony weird sock person? What you need to do, and it's not too late, you need to lay down some ground rules with your roommate. So it's insanely important not to use accusational words with them. You can't say things like, you need to do this, or why do you do this? They're automatically gonna put up a wall. But if there's a certain way that you're used to living and you wanna make sure that that's shared between the two of you, you need to get it out, and the earlier the better. And yes, it's gonna be a 10-minute awkward conversation telling them that you don't like a particular action that they're doing. But you can have 10 minutes of a weird conversation, or you can have a year's worth of just passive aggressiveness. And on the flip side, be ready to hear something back, because I promise you, you're not perfect either, and no matter how perfect you think your living situation is on your end, there's always things you can change as well. And while we're on the topic of the dorms, partying in the dorms is always gonna happen. So always remember, your RA is not your friend. Or if I may, he's not your buddy! If you get that reference, boom, we're friends now. It's from an old video of mine. But the thing to remember is no matter how much your RA wants to throw a pizza party and get to know everybody, at the end of the day, his job is basically to get you in trouble. For the most part, if you have a roommate situation, talk it out with them. You don't need the advice of some guy that loved the dorm so much that he decided he wanted to stay there an extra year. That's a vast overgeneralization. I loved my RA. He was a badass. But the point is that if you're gonna put them in a situation where they have to get you in trouble, they will get you in trouble. They're getting paid to do this, and they're living for free in the dorm. They're not gonna jeopardize their job so you can have a couple beers with your roommates playing Nintendo 64. But if you're gonna do that, I suggest you play Beerio Kart, which is essentially Mario Kart, but you have to finish your beer before the end of the race. But as you're a responsible individual, you cannot drink and drive, so every time you want to take a sip of your beer, you have to put your controller down. It's a fun game. So the thing to remember is, don't be the guy that throws the parties in your dorm. One, you're never gonna get as many girls as you think you're gonna get over there. If you're a girl, you're gonna be surrounded by a bunch of sweaty dudes. Now, I also don't suggest hiding alcohol in your dorm. More often than not, you're gonna get caught and you have a potential of getting kicked out of your dorm. But if you have to do it, be smart about it. No more than 4 people in your dorm to drink at a time. You're gonna be too noisy, and what's the point of drinking in silence? Also, hide your shit properly. Don't put it in like your refrigerator, don't put it under your bed, don't put it in your drawers especially. Actually, if you want to be really smart, you would hang up a pair of pants, tie off the bottom pant, and then put whatever you need in your pant leg. I just thought that one up. Disclaimer, I am not recommending that you do any of that. If you want to drink, go do it at someone else's place, that way you don't get into the blame. And finally, for all you star-crossed lovers out there, if you're coming into freshman year and you're still dating someone that's going to another university, or one step further, they're still in high school, yeah, that's not gonna work out. And don't get me wrong, I am a firm believer in real and true love. You have to be a little bit of a realist as well. Every relationship that I've seen that's long distance through college, or that is dating someone that's still in high school, has not just failed, but has ended up crashing and burning. Because over time, jealousy is going to happen. You're gonna be looking at each other's Facebooks, you're gonna be seeing things that have no context, and you're gonna be looking at your significant other's A-reel. So while you're at home studying, you're gonna be looking at them crazy partying and wonder, what are they doing? Why are they not doing that with me? And you're gonna be having all these doubts about yourself, and then vice versa, they may be doing the same thing. Because with doubts comes fear, with fear comes anger, and then eventually it slowly starts to implode on itself. But the bigger point is that college is all about memory making. And the nights you're gonna remember are those wild nights out with your friends doing crazy things. I guarantee one of those amazing college memories isn't gonna be the night you stayed in to Skype with your significant other. So if you're having any doubts about that, I seriously suggest that you think about that and internally process it, because I've seen these things really end poorly. All right, guys, that's all the advice I have for this week. Next week, I'm gonna be doing an entire segment on going Greek if you're interested in that. We'll go over both the positives and negatives to joining the Greek system. And guys, in the comments below, let me know what are some questions you might have about the Greek system, or what are some more college advice tips that you're looking for. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you can see that in my underwear below. And as always, guys, I love you. I'm in love with you.